Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles that brought me stone, to the Akim Aqua, try the four corners of the earth, holding on in sincerity and in truth, to the gospel of Lord Amashak Yahushai, in these days and times, is Brahmanasha, another lesson for the hopeful elect. Always remember that you need to have a diligence of mind to reflect upon the words of Lord Amashak Yahushai. Without having His Spirit upon you, your life is basically meaningless. All right, you're just a mindless zombie without a purpose. You're just a space taker. You're just taking up space. And once you realize that the Lord has given you an opportunity to understand the value of being an Israelite and to know the potential that you can attain by submitting unto Him, you begin to move differently. You see the world differently because you are seeing things through a lens that the world is not willing to accept. That's why this ministry is very important. We're men of visions. You need to have a filter through which you view events. You view the incidents in this world. That's what this gospel allows you to do, and how you can move on to the upcoming stages. All right, and never to be frustrated because of you know things not being in your control. You're not trying to get things under your control. You're trying to flow with the process the Lord has laid before you. Now we read from the book of Amos, chapter 9. I'm going to read verse 13. Behold, the days come, said the Lord Kakadash, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes, him that soweth seed. And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. So this is just a prelude, to people being delivered out of the hands of our enemies, right? From being receiving salvation through our Lord and Mashiach Yahushai out of the hands of the elites of this world. So I'm going to play a short clip. It's an audio about the so-called CEO of J.P. Morgan, man, not happy about his peasants working from home and not showing up to so-called work like he wants them to. And it's just the times, a sign of the times, man, that the Lord is, you know, allowing that power shift to take place. That the minds of the people is being awakened. People are crying for freedom. They're tired of oppression. And it's gonna get very, very fierce, and it's gonna cause a lot of people to fear. All right, so I'll play the clip as the time permits. Just give me 1 second.
This is wild. The real estate market in Washington, D.C. and neighboring areas is exploding with new listings.
That's the power of the owners of the plantation, man. They want their plantation to be productive. So I'm gonna get proper audio to play. This is the second one. The first one is supposed to play.
JP Morgan's CEO Jamie Dimon has said in leaked audio.
I would rewind it.
This is why
JP Morgan's CEO Jamie Dimon has said in leaked audio that this culture of dynamic working, maybe even 4-day work weeks, is semi-diseased.
And don't give me the shit that work from home Friday works. I call a lot of people Friday. There's not a goddamn person to get a hold of.
The thing I would ask you to note in this video is not really the content or the fact that he thinks that working 7 days a week is something we should all aspire to.
I've been working 7 days a goddamn week since COVID, and I come in and where's everybody else? For the here and there and the Zoom.
But the tone. He says he's not angry at the young people he seems to hold in such contempt. But his voice, it ripples with rage. A colleague of mine once told me this quote that many people hate change because they see change as violence against the status quo, and they react to change as if it is violence against them.
And that's what's going on in the so-called churches, man. When the true gospel is being preached on the highways and byways and also online for the whole world to see, all these so-called ministers, man, they get upset. All of a sudden the heat is turned on and they start getting uncomfortable. They go into so-called damage control. And then imagine what the elites of this world have to go through, when they see the servants of the Lord, Hamashak, Yahweh out there in the highways and byways. They get infuriated, they get upset. They start yelling and screaming, pushing their so-called puppets to build up a database of so-called hate groups, and they start saying, you know what, you got to put some money into having some fusion centers. And before you know it, man, you start hearing the spin doctors on the news, all types of articles. And it just shows you that you, the owners of the plantation, man, are upset with their so-called peasants in their companies. How much more they're gonna be upset about the man of the Lord and highways and byways? You're not gonna leak that audio at this time. You know, who knows when that audio will drop? Will be available. How they are upset, how they are pissed off, how they are angry, how they have to tread with caution to come against the man of the Lord. And they do it with all subtle tactics of censorship. They use the arm of their so-called legal system to come against us. And then you realize, it's part of the program. It's part of what the Lord said is going to happen. When captivity is no longer able to hold you back, what does that mean? It means that, the spirit of freedom, is being resurrected. Just like the Lord at Mashak Yahweh says, Father, has made you free. You're free indeed. The Spirit makes you free. You're free. That spirit of freedom is contagious. People are looking for a better way forward, and they realize the elites of this world are just standing in the way. And that's the reason why you read Amos 9 and 13. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that soweth seed, and the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. Yeah, so it's a transition, and they complain about people working from home. When folks get tired of all the traffic congestion, all the paying for gas and all that drama, road rage, it don't make no sense at all to want to live like that, man. all types of accidents, reckless driving on the road. Every day is always somebody racing around, weaving in and out of traffic. Yeah, so it's just part of the situation you have to be aware of, man. And when they see that the so-called bodies that own all these real estate properties want people to fill them so they could get some money out of them, it's another discussion. But you already know what the whole idea is, all right? So I'll play some more of the clip.
Man's voice, barely containing his rage, is exactly that. A response to the change to a status quo that he has been comfortable with for all his life.
Now you read the book of Revelation. 12 and 12. Imagine, it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. So that's the reason why these words of the Lord, consoles your mind. It helps you to put your broken spirit, back in place, man. You can't walk around all sad and upset and burnt out, man. There's always hope. We're prisoners of hope. So you're hoping that the Lord Amashaka will give you the words to compose yourself and to look forward to being delivered. And when you see these so-called elites of this world being upset that folks are not showing up to work like they need to because they're using the work from home option, and when they say that, okay, well, we want a cleaner environment, less people driving, all that stuff, talk about going green. That's when you stay home. Isn't that a good idea? That you're doing your part and all that stuff. So now they see that, that the Lord, the Lord tricked them. The Lord mesmerized them into the people working from home. Now they're upset. That's just what happens, man. The Lord always likes to play that card of unintended consequences. That they think they have every base covered. But now, when people start to catch up and take advantage of the opportunity to breathe in some fresh air, all of a sudden, the so-called elite are upset. They want constant power, constant control over the people, and that's just what it is, man. And you have a DJ Trump, just pushing forth this agenda, man. You know, you know, cutting people off at the knees, man. Buyouts here and there. Folks just stressed out and worried about their jobs. But it just shows you, man. They want to keep peoples on their toes. Knock them out. Jabs and knockouts and punches. Elbows. Yeah. So their job is to make people uncomfortable, man. Keep the people moving. you know, keep them moving around, man. Don't that, just like scripture talks about the curse of not having rest for the sole of their feet. That's exactly what the elites are doing. They want people to constantly going back and forth to serve them. All right. So we read the book of Revelation again. Uh, 18 and start from verse 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. All right. So yeah, it's a sigh of relief for the for the workers, man. That the Lord is bringing about a new system. All right. And He has to destroy the power of the merchants of this world, the elites of this world, the Lord has to curtail and tear down their power structure. Now, verse 12 says, the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stone and pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all tine wood and all manner vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. Yep. So this are commodities for an economy. These are things that the elites of this world like to own. They love to have this in their so-called portfolio. When you have a corporation that's able to integrate all these commodities and triple his net worth 1 billion times over exponentially, don't you think that he's going to be happy that his net worth, his what do you call it, his growth, his come up in life? Wouldn't you think that's something he'll be excited about? Now, when you have the so-called people at the bottom doing the work, when the slaves and the souls of men begin to start experiencing little dosages of freedom and self-awareness, and spirit of truth, spirit of faith, wouldn't there be a ripple effect up the food chain? And then they start complaining, and that's just what it is. Man. When they start to lose control over the souls of men, then there is a problem. When the propaganda is not propaganding anymore, it begins to cause them to have higher blood pressure. Because freedom is a beautiful thing, man. When you're free from your iniquities, you're free from oppression, you're able to see clearly. Your thoughts are focused. Your eyes are single. Just like the Lord Mashak Yahushai. Your whole body is full of light. You're lively. You have a mission. And these elites, man, they want you to be subservient to them for eternity. And that's why they're pushing so hard with their CBDC, man, the central bank digital currency. They're pushing this crypto agenda so hard, man, and it's coming. People are beginning to catch up with the whole plan. So it just shows you that, the Lord is about to deliver His people. Now we read from the book of Isaiah 41 and 11. It says this: Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish. And this is a guarantee that the Lord has said is going to take place, man. He has to tear down the system of oppression. The Lord has to judge Esau. All right, the Lord has to tear apart their pride and their arrogance, and it's only befitting, of a prophet, to look forward to that happening. And then you read verse 12: Thou shalt seek them and shalt not find them, even them that contended with thee. They that war against thee shall be as nothing, and as a thing of naught. So now you see J.P. Morgan, what's his name, Jamie Dimon. He's complaining. What do you think his other colleagues, his so-called buddies, are going through? You know, they're trying to figure out the way of how to keep the people, you know, back what you call it, man, fenced in. Just like you say, the cat's out of the bag. Well, they want the cat back in the bag. But hey, things moving on, man. They're running out of cats in the bag. The bag cannot contain the cat no more, man. The cat has become stronger, you know, and it's time that, the cat is free, man. So it's just a beautiful thing, man, to see how the Lord, shows his power, without causing major havoc. He's causing these elites to lose sleep. And you can imagine the conversations they're having, concerning the men of the Lord, the Israelites on the highways and byways, man. So they're upset, they're angry, and they know that they have to move on us. They have to move on the men of the Lord as quick as the opportunity presents itself. All right. So, what do you think the Lord will do? He has to raise up a standard against them. It's part of the beautiful thing about this gospel, man. Verse 13 now says, "For I, the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Shai, Bashim Kakadash, thy power, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, Fear not, I will help thee." Yeah, we may look powerless, you know, we don't have all the resources like these elites do. All we have is Yahweh Shem Shai. And that a lot of people will find out that the Lord is real in that day. Now, for wrap this up, one more precept, and that's it. Isaiah chapter 10 and 27. And it shall come to pass in that day that his burden shall be taken away from off thy shoulder, and his yoke from off thy neck, and the yoke shall be destroyed because of the anointing. And that's one thing, you have to remember, man. Your days of salvation, it's getting closer and closer and closer, man. No longer will our people be held captive anymore on the plantation of these elites, man. That the spirit of freedom is about to be unleashed on the whole earth. And we're hoping, I pray that, you're found worthy to be delivered, man. That you're found worthy to be destined for salvation. So that's the point there. Now you have an understanding of how upset the elites are, man. You know, it's not in the so-called controlled environment. All these interviews you see on CNBC or Bloomberg or Fox News, all these manicured interviews and all that stuff. You get to hear the real deal. You get the skinning, man. You're hearing it from the goat's mouth. That's just how they think. They try to portray themselves as being philanthropists and all that stuff. But this was all up front. All the foundations that they like to put out there as them being benevolent. It doesn't. It doesn't fool the Lord, and the Lord will not allow His servants, to be carried away in such a wave of deception. That's why you have to trust in the Lord, and the Spirit will make you free. So that was the point there. I came, Akwath, pray that the Lord continue to sharpen your mind and you gravitate towards that gospel of freedom. By Shemi Shai, by Shemi Kakadash, with the approval of Yahweh Shalom.